Wow, that looks like a great publication. Wow.
I love this Dennis the Menace cartoon is everything.
It's excellent. It's excellent.
I want to read the Garfield comic.
Oh, yes. Okay. Where is yes. Oh, there he is. Another birthday is out to get me. Hello.
We didn't see you there.
I'm so sorry. We didn't see you on our podcast that we hit go live on.
Look what happened totally by accident.
If there is a hellscape,
no, there's no hellscape, I promise. I made sure to mute my phone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Catt and Kristen. My name is Shut Up Kristen.
And my name is Tomcat.
Together, we host this podcast, and every once in a while, we're on the cover of newspapers.
Because, why not?
If you're in the Long Island area and you want to pick up a copy of Newsday from today, in the Explore LI section, which is right in the middle section, we're on the cover.
We are on the cover of it. It's the Explore LI thing.
Yes, that thing indeed.
It was promotion for Eternal Con, which is this weekend.
Yep.
We will most likely be there unless circumstances dictate otherwise.
Yes, on Saturday, correct?
Saturday.
Yes. Saturday. Whoop.
Saturday.
Saturday. Saturday. Saturday. Saturday. Saturday. Saturday. Okay. Well, that's it, and that ends the podcast.
And that's the show. We hope you enjoyed our Cosplayer of the Week now.
But yeah, very cool. To be completely honest with you guys, it was an awesome opportunity. We thought that there was going to be a little bit more about us in there, but they did an amazing job promoting Eternal Con, and it's awesome that they chose us to help promote it. So we're super thankful either way. So, very cool. Adjusting, and we have some dope pictures to share with you guys.
We do. We got a lot of
great. Excellent.
Have I told you how professional I actually am?
So professional. I wish that they could see this beautiful lavender color that you're wearing.
Oh,
it looks like
so
blue
much.
Over here, but it's like a beautiful lavender. It's gorgeous.
I mean, you could put the spotlight on us and see what happens.
Nah, that's too much leaning.
Too much work.
Too much leaning.
Speaking of too much work and too much leaning.
Packing cosplays. So much leaning. So much leaning.
Have you ever, Kristen, been at a point in time when you said, I have so many cosplays, where do I put them?
I have. And in fact, at that point in time, I made a status asking how the hell do other people pack their things. And I got
Sharon Rose, we are adding you. We are adding you so very hard.
Oh my God. Yeah. So very seriously, I made a post on my Facebook, and Sharon, who I had never even met actually IRL at this point, left the longest, most beautiful explanation of how she keeps all her stuff organized. And you know what? It really speaks to me now how she is able to rewear her cosplays so much, because she keeps them safe. She keeps them tucked away. There ain't no missing lost pieces to the Sharon Rose cosplay experience. Let me tell you.
I wish I could say the same.
Whoo! Yeah.
I just bought myself a costume piece recently. Can't find it. Can't find it at all.
I know. I understand too. Did you ever get around to watching the Jessica Negri documentary?
Bits and pieces.
So I understand now completely why Jessica Negri literally has a storage unit for her cosplays.
I believe that.
Makes total sense.
I've actually thought about that.
Yeah, without a doubt. How does any adult that doesn't own a house, how did they store their it makes no sense. It's so much work. So pretty much, I guess my question for you, how do you store your cosplays?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Spotlight. Added.
Well.
Well.
A number of my cosplays are usually kept on hangers that I keep in my boiler room.
Woo!
Like you do. We're all old clothes go to die.
That's it. It's true. I feel it.
If I took pictures and posted them, you'd be like, oh my God. I have crates. Mm-hmm. I have one crate designated for fabric.
Yeah.
One crate designated for costumes.
Yep.
One crate designated for old clothing. And these aren't these tiny little boxes. No. These are packing crates.
Yeah.
Filled to the brim with stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's hard to figure out. It's like hard to be like, what's the best way? So like what's been working for me for a long time, and again, this is complete credit to Sharon, because she is the one who, she was like, this is what I do, this is what works for me best, and this is how shit gets done. And I was like, yes, Sharon, you are correct. Great. Please marry me. That's what I proposed. And that's how we fell in love. So what I do is per cosplay, and this is very space consuming. So again, I understand why people have storage
To
units.
those that don't know Sharon Rose personally, she has a lot of large
armor big builds with huge props, etc. So I, per cosplay, have a tub that will be, is dependent on the size of the cosplay. Somebody commented here, Dom commented, spandex goes in a suit bag hanging in the closet. For me, spandex goes in a very small tub, because that you don't have to worry about.
And throw it in a box. I don't care. I don't care at all.
And then what I do is there's one tub per cosplay. So it depends on how big, like for Warrior Dorothy and for Mifa, I needed to get really large tubs. For stuff like Gwenpool, I have much smaller ones. Yeah.
I was talking about like the crates that I have, and then one crate is dedicated exclusively to Batman.
Totally, and that makes sense to me. Like, you need it. And then the game changer that Sharon said to me that I think is just like the greatest thing is that in each tub, there's an itemized list of what's needed for the cosplay, what's in this tub, and anything additionally that you need to pull out from elsewhere for said cosplay.
Oh, how obsessive.
Amazing.
That's
amazing, because again, and I literally wrecked myself because I have these lists, and then when we were doing our shoot last week for Sailor Mars, I at the last minute was looking through my tub and I had gloves on this checklist, and I was like, where are the gloves? They are no longer in the tub. Where they be? And so that's proof that you have to go back through the list every time that you re-put the stuff in there, that everything has gone back to where it belongs.
You know, as cosplayers, we do have to take inventory of all of the pieces that we have.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we don't know where things
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, totally. And like, let's say you needed to reuse an element of a cosplay for like something else. You write on that box, this is in here, can also be used for whatever. And then if like you were going to put it, and you write it on the other one too.
When I first started packing away all of my stuff, I actually had a giant notebook, and I said, in the green case, all of these things.
Yep, totally.
In the clear black case, this much.
Yep.
In the stark black, can't see through, all this stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to sit down, take inventory.
Yeah, totally.
Make an itemized list of all of your stuff. Jewelry,
That's it. Totally.
makeup, props, costume pieces.
Yeah. This also goes definitely for like even cosplay supplies. Like the amount of times that I have like gone out to Joann's and bought something, me like, I don't have this, and then I go into my stupid craft room and I'm looking for something else, and I'm like, oh,
look at that.
I had these all along.
I had the thing.
It turns out I do keep on obsessively buying Velcro. Like that, staying organized can save you so much money, so much time. Like that sort of stuff with cosplay can be a game changer, I feel like.
So it literally comes down to what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to have a storage unit for your cosplays, have a storage unit for your cosplays.
Totally.
If you want to, I mean, most theaters have racks, hanging racks.
Yep.
The metal wrought iron ones.
Yep.
Those are phenomenal.
Totally.
Just so long as you have a place to put them.
Yep. Yeah.
Which tends to be a challenge. Some things that are very important to remember, as I just put down the cup of tea. Be careful of creepy crawlies that may or may not get on your costumes.
Totally.
Because with certain fabrics, to those that don't know, moths are a thing, and she's getting messaged.
Too popular.
Totally casual. I actually had to ignore a phone call.
Wonderful. We're doing great.
We're just the best friends.
We're doing great.
We are the best people. There it all is. As I get tea on my nose.
How you doing?
I'm the height of professionalism.
Weather.
And I open the CD case.
You open the CD-ROM.
Going for a moment, going for a big moment, and then it's just like, nope. Your knee is getting moved by a disc tray.
Great. Good.
Hi,
Things
welcome to
going
Catt Kristen.
Oy vey.
Yes, hangers are very, very important. Crates are very important.
Yep.
A lot of it is just about organization.
And what works best for you.
What works best for you personally, because I can tell you the amount of times my siblings and even my parents have been like, how much shit are you going to put in the basement, Tom? And I'm like... my mom, adding... If my mom were watching this right now, she would comment. Oh, yeah.
She would comment.
That, you know, that's something that we definitely want to focus on. It is wonderful to be a cosplayer. It can sometimes be an incredible inconvenience to the people that you're living with.
So much. That's when, like, a storage unit or whatnot becomes, like, necessary. It's like, unless you have, and I was going to say, Tiffany commented, at work we use itemized tags and hang things in garment bags, clothing and accessories together. And, like, if you have an extra closet at home, great, then that works awesome for you. But I think for the average person, like in an apartment or in like an average sized home, like that's not necessarily something that you're gonna have. And especially if you're working out of your parents' house or your whatever, like that's I've already taken over my sister's room and my mom gives me enough shit about that. Like I can't do any more.
I mean, and these are some things that most cosplayers have to deal with if they are still living at home, which in this economy is a thing that constantly happens. People in their 40s returning home, becoming cosplayers, and living in their parents' basement.
Here we are. Great.
We're not 40.
No.
I made very clear in that interview not to tell anybody
what your age was. I know. The interviewer literally was like, can I ask you your age? And you were like, no, you cannot.
No, you cannot. Never ask a lady their age.
I feel so honored that I do know your age.
And
I'll never tell anybody.
I'll never tell anybody.
I'm taking it to the grave. That's it. I'm going to sell off the number to the highest bidder.
Sell it up to the highest bidder. 10 to 1 is going to be Eric.
It is going to be Eric. You guys can barter to know each other's ages.
We can barter!
Oh my gosh. Okay, so... back to business.
Use the CD-ROM.
Let's get down to big. We're not using the CD-ROM as a cup holder. How dare you, Dom? How dare you? Mike says,
"Do not at my husband."
Listen, I'm adding whatever I want. Okay, this is my show in half.
Well then.
In half. Half is yours. Okay. Half is mine. Okay. Listen. And I get to keep the dog. Okay.
I get to keep the dog, of course, naturally.
That's why I didn't sign a prenup.
You know, as one does.
As one does. Mike says...
take it to the chorus.
I use 1 bin per character, same. Keep all contact lenses and makeup in one area. That's a great idea, because the amount of times that I've been looking for contact lenses... I think that actually is a good suggestion of, like, don't put that in with the character. Keep that all in one spot.
Makeup, hair care supplies, cosmetics, anything pertaining to stuff that isn't a costume should be kept in one separate area.
Totally.
I unfortunately have 2 areas where I keep my makeup because I have so much of it. I don't have a lot of it, so I've been really good about, like, I remember I once had to buy an eyeliner that I used as eyebrow pencil for Venusaur. And so I kept that with Venusaur for a really, really long time. It's the only reason I really need to use it. But then I remember one day came around and I couldn't find it. And I was like, I swear I put it with this. And it's so much better if it's all just in one place. It's so much better if that stuff is all in one place. Unless it's a super, super specific sort of makeup that you're like positive is only going to be necessary for this one particular thing. Oh, yeah.
Like, and that really isn't going to cosplay. I was about to say literally the Venusaur, eye pencil now. Recently I was thinking about it and I have like a cosplay planned that I was going to do at Anime Next for some time in the future that 100% I would need that for, and like I have no idea where that is. No idea.
I mean, as someone that has a lot of makeup,
I don't have that much.
I have part of me just wants to, and this is actually going to tie into the next part of the conversation, is sometimes selling your stuff.
Yeah.
Selling your costumes, selling your stuff that you don't need, nor want, nor use anymore.
Yeah.
It is always vital that, I mean, I know that when you cosplay, it's always important to have more than not enough.
Yeah.
When it comes to storage units, it's pretty much the same thing.
Totally.
You need some place to, whether it's in shopping bags, or in recyclable bags, or in garment bags, just have something to put the item into so that it's not lying on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, totally.
Cleanliness is next to Hollywood Boulevard.
And this also, what I will say, is something that I found super, super helpful when I went to KatsuCon. We'll like transition at some point into talking about at the con, like what the best way to pack is. But something that I found to be really, really helpful for KatsuCon specifically is for Sailor Mars and for Mifa. I brought 2 separate little bags, 2 separate little like tiny Ipsy bags, like that are like this big that zip up, that had everything I needed for Sailor Mars in one little bag, and everything I needed for Mifa in one little bag. Okay. So that I literally in the morning, all I had to do, grab that one singular bag.
And do that.
And that's it. And anything that was like necessary for like general, I had in another bag. So I essentially had like makeup bag, little stuff specific to Mars. So like she had like a head little ornament piece that was really small I didn't want to lose. Contacts. She had like the specific makeup that I usually would wear for her all in that little bag. For Mifa, there were like 2 face paints that I was using, the like applicator for those face paints, everything, all that in one little bag. And it made it so much simpler and so much easier for me to repack and know that it would all be back together.
Yeah, I don't do that.
It's just I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to be better.
It's funny, because whenever I go to conventions where I wear a lot of makeup, I will bring 3 makeup bags, and I will use maybe all of the contents of one of them.
One of them, yeah.
Because that's how crazy I can get about my costumes. Also very important, wigs.
I was about to mention wigs,
There's, because I just saw Mike's use head forms.
Yeah.
Packing wigs is an interesting beast.
Yes.
Because, I mean, wigs can be a topic unto themselves.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But one of the things to remember is always make sure that the wig at least has a similar shape upon exiting the bag.
Yep.
What a lot of people do is they'll open the wig head, crumple up either some type of paper, put that into the wig cap itself, seal the bag, let all of the air out of it, fold it neatly, and pack it someplace. That's how I've had to pack a number of my wigs.
The way that I pack my wigs, I know would make a lot of people cry. That is where I do not succeed. To be fair, I also haven't had a ton of highly styled wigs before. Like I just commissioned my friend Ashley. My friend Ashley literally just like commissioned my Sailor Mars wig for me, and so I've like specifically had that on the head form. Like it has not moved from there, like other than being on my head. But otherwise, the way that I like have packed those sorts of things has been awful. Like it's just bad.
Tell us about it, Janet.
Oh my god. Like I just stuff them. I try to be good about it in that I like try to put them right back in the bag that they came from and like fold over the hair, trying to make sure it's not super knotted. But then also, sometimes you're at a con and you've been wearing a wig for 4 hours and you have a migraine and you rip off that wig and you're like, I'm going to sleep now, or I'm going back downstairs to try and just talk to my friends who I haven't been able to look in the eye for 4 hours because I've had a migraine. And therefore, the wig just ends up somewhere in the abyss. You're on the Long Island Railroad, and it's in your lap, and you're like, fuck all this shit. And
you have taken us on a journey with that story, ma'am.
Listen, I don't like wigs. They're not fun. They're not great. And so I pack them really poorly. But you shouldn't do that because then you're wasting your time and money. She
is talking to me.
Yeah.
She is adding me by saying that she doesn't like wigs. Literally, that's the only way I have hair.
Listen. Yes, but then the only way that I can achieve other hair is also by putting on the wig, and then underneath that wig, I got all this. I got this lion's mane.
You know what you should do? keep your hair natural like me.
God will get you for that, Tom. you know, Tom. There is a God.
And he's very capable of getting you.
I can't. It's the worst. Anyway. But you should treat your wigs well. Don't make wig commissioners cry at the sight of your wigs and where you keep them. Especially if they're styled. Keep them on a form.
Keep them on a form.
Yeah, keep them on a form.
I know that there's a lot of queens out there, myself included, where they will have like one or two wig heads that they will keep their favorite wigs on.
Totally.
Just in case, like, I'm very thankful that a lot of the wigs that I wear, they're just shake and go wigs.
Yeah, same. I've been lucky with that as well. Most of them are that way.
Just
so I've been able to treat them.
Put them on, do the shake, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
I was actually very fortunate. My Mae West wig, as a matter of fact, got it from one of my girlfriends. She lives in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And we had exchanged pleasantries, and she was like, "Sure, I can get you." Like, she took pictures of the certain wigs, and I was like, "Yes, that one." So she sent it, and it came very neatly fashioned, and the curls were so tight.
Yeah.
I said to myself, if I shake this once, the curls are gonna go away.
Yeah.
So I literally emptied a can of Got to Be Glued on it.
Yeah.
That's another thing, actually. Before I eat, hair care products, same as cosmetics, should be in their own specific area.
Yeah, wig brushes, anything that what is it? The spray that people use for wigs.
Got to be glued.
No, there's Got to Be Glued, but there's also to brush it out.
Oh, detangler?
Yeah, there's like a
special wig detangler
or something.
Guys,
there's a name for it. It's like Bear and Mane or something. I don't know. It's something. There's a name for it. Regardless, it detangles, and people will bring it to cons, and they'll brush it out, and yada yada. Mm-hmm. This is how much I know about wigs.
Wig boxes are great for traveling with styled wigs.
Totally.
Agreed.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely. Speaking of which, Mike had said earlier. How do you advise packing cosplays for when cons are far away, i.e. you need to fly? And this, I can say I've been lucky enough that I have not had to fly to a con yet, because holy shit, does that seem intimidating to me.
Honestly,
yeah,
I would probably say keep all your makeups, hair care products, things that the TSA will say, no, you can't bring that on the plane, and put that in the suitcase itself.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's really, really, really tricky territory.
Hard. Yeah, that's really hard.
Because that could literally go any which way. It depends on the TSA agent you're dealing with.
And it also depends. I know some people that have literally pre-shipped their cosplays.
There are a lot of cosplayers that will mail out their cosplays to the event or the hotel that will accept them.
Yeah.
But then you run the risk of losing them in the mail. Or not getting them there in time.
Totally.
Otherwise,
I know that there are some really good Camu cosplay. Svetlana has done a couple of, she's in her books, I know at the very least, she's showed pictures before of how she's like packed her armor and whatnot, because armor for me is really like, that's the stuff that like you want to pack super carefully, because you don't want anything to bend out of shape, you don't want anything to like,
and you don't want to have to like reheat something by the time you get to the con.
No,
that's
not good.
That's not a good scene.
I would say number one, be particular about what you're cosplaying, bringing to that con. Be mindful that you do have to pack it when you are choosing what cosplays that you're going to bring. If there are props that you can ship beforehand, like Day says, I think that that's a great way to go. Otherwise, you just have to be really, really smart. Use a suitcase that has the extendable feature, not necessarily because you're going to fill it to the brim, but so that you can put like tissue paper and other stuff in there if you need to like protect armor, protect a prop, protect a wig, like that sort of
Staples
stuff.
sells popcorn peanuts.
Yeah, exactly. Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap.
Bubble wrap
that they also sell.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, packing peanuts.
Use that packing peanuts.
Yeah.
Thank you. Packing peanuts.
Yeah.
Not packy penis.
Yeah. Great.
It's been a long day, kids.
Yeah, definitely. Wigs, if you can ship your wig ahead of time, there are very safe ways to ship your wig. Like, commissioners do it all the time. If you can, like, whatever you think is going to be the most difficult for you to bring in a suitcase where it might get damaged, consider upping your timeline to make sure that you can ship it and it arrives on time.
There's also, fees that you have to pay for extra pieces of luggage.
Definitely.
So
see what works out financially. Like, we're talking about usually $50 for another suitcase at the minimum.
At the minimum.
Yeah. So you're definitely, take advantage of, I would say, checked bag and carry-on if you can.
In the carry-on, if you're traveling to a con, in the carry-on, I would strongly recommend putting like spandex pieces, clothing pieces,
definitely
items. Not something that will be a blip on their radar, being like, what could this possibly be? And it's just you're gonna get pulled over for a tube of toothpaste.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and be really mindful that it's something that TSA could go through, and try to pack it in the most like
checklists.
Yeah. Totally.
Checklists are your BFF.
Yeah.
Put them in your boxes. Put them in your bags.
Yep.
Make lists for yourself before you're ready to go to a con.
Yeah.
Make a list for when you're done at the con and have to like run over that checklist again saying, this is what I have. This is what I don't have. This is what I'm missing. This is what I need to find.
Yeah.
Because if you get home and you go over that list and you're missing something, you're going to be sad.
Also, if you are worried about stuff getting damaged in your suitcase or TSA going through your stuff and like messing something up, writing a note that you just put on the top of your packing. Like, I actually have seen I know of a bunch of people that have like had to do that before and have gotten a little notice in their bags that like TSA has gone through them. Write a note on top that says, hey, please be mindful, delicate, whatever.
Fragile. To those that don't know the Christmas Story.
Woo!
I never cared for that movie.
Yeah, I don't care about it. I don't care about it. There's a lot of Christmas. I like Christmas, but there are a lot of Christmas movies that I'm like, okay. I feel like it's a much more.
You exist. Congratulations.
I'm not as nostalgic, I think, as for Christmas. I don't think I'm sappy enough for Christmas movies. I'm not like a huge sap when it comes to that stuff.
I enjoy A Christmas Carol. I enjoy How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I enjoy all the Rankin Bass movies. But
I enjoy Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph. I like the claymations.
Yeah, the stop motion animations.
I like the
claymations. Those are timeless.
How did we get here?
Timeless. I don't know how we got here.
How did we get here? Anyway.
Anyhoozle, back on the farm.
Yes. So, definitely be mindful of flying to a con. If you're traveling to a con and you get to drive, that is a different situation. If you are traveling to a con and you get to drive, I highly suggest taking advantage of tubs that roll. Tubs that roll.
Tubs that have wheels on them. Tubs that roll.
Tubs that roll.
I mean, if you want to bathe in public and you want to roll down the street, by all means, put yourself in a mobile tub.
Please do. You clearly didn't see at Camp 999 that we had bathtub racers. Real thing. They were go-karts, except they looked like bathtubs that you could race against people on. I will show you video footage after.
You have no choice now, ma'am.
I booked them.
See those things? I did that.
I'm going to sneeze now.
Bless you.
Thank you. So yeah. Great. Wonderful. Yes, Die Hard is the best Christmas movie moving forward. I make like 3 checklists before I leave for a con. One for potential cosplays, one for packing, and then rechecking what I packed, and then one for leaving the con itself. Yes, totally.
Yes.
Totally. That's a great idea.
I'm a fan of that idea.
Totally.
With myself personally, when it comes to packing for a convention, I usually just Hope for the best.
And so do I. I mean, here's the thing. We're also speaking as in a way that makes it suggest that cosplayers have time before a con. and
we're making it seem as though there's, a period at which
the sewing stops before you leave.
There are some people that will bring their sewing machines with them to the con.
Completely.
That completely blows my mind. My anxiety would not be able to handle that.
No, not me. Not me.
Not in the slightest.
I was literally last week before Anime Next, my darling Melissa, who is in my group, she was like, well, Kristen, if you're feeling better before Anime Next, don't worry. We can blast out that top on a sewing machine real quick at Anime Next. And I was like, bless you. I'm not making anyone do that. Absolutely not. No way am I making anyone help me at a con on the sewing machine. No way. No how. No way. No sir. Bye.
Not nobody. Not no how.
No, definitely not.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my favorite topic of conversation. When you come home from a con, how long before you put your shit away?
Oh my gosh. Katsucon took me a full month. Katsucon took me, I bought the tubs, and then the day I bought the tub, it was raining, hailstorm.
Naturally.
And I literally, so I left... My suitcase was still in my trunk. I left the tubs in my car, and those tubs rode around with me for 3 weeks in my car. Because then I was just too lazy.
So, when I got back from Katsucon, my suitcase sat in the basement, unopened, for a good month and a half.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
And every time I went down to the basement just to, chill and unwind and decompress, I looked at it, and, at one point I just sort of said, "You're never gonna open me, are you?" Nope. Not happening.
Nope. 0%.
Because when that happens, you have to put things back
away
where they came from.
And assess the damage. You have to assess, what do we have here?
What ripped during this convention?
Yeah.
What do I have to fix now?
What did spray paint stain?
Horror stories.
Horror stories. Let's see. Eric has joined us. Hello, Eric.
Wait, you guys unpack after a con?
Yeah, not for a long time.
Not for a
while.
Not for
a long time.
Sometimes I think cosplayers.
I literally have not even unpacked from the camp that I was at, and that was I started today. Only because my parents were sassing me. And by parents, I mean Dad. I'm speaking to you right now.
Wow, just call him out in front of everybody.
I will.
Fine. Okay, sure.
My Helios that I ripped myself out of is still crumpled in a bag from Katsu. I feel that in my soul. I feel that. That's how my wigs end up. That's it.
Just in a bag.
Crumpled.
Someplace, crumpled up.
Yeah. Katsucon...
Ziplocs are also a very good friend of yours.
Totally.
I have multiple wigs and multiple Ziplocs and multiple sequins and multiple Ziplocs.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lord knows you can never have too many Ziplocs and plastic bags.
Yeah, definitely not.
And again, what is the easiest way to compartmentalize for one person isn't the most convenient way for another person to compartmentalize their cosplays.
Yes. I'm trying to think of other stuff. What else is there to packing cosplays? Make sure that you remember to pack real clothes for yourself. Real statement. Remember to pack sweatpants for when you rip said Helios costume off. Unless you want to run around naked, in which case you do you.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
That's why I said you do you.
Not in the slide. I do me all the time. Ain't nobody can do me like that.
Ain't nobody. Let's see. All my wigs are in gallon Ziploc bags.
Perfect.
Yeah, totally. All of mine are. To be fair, all of my wigs are in the bags from which they came from. They just don't. It's not like I brush them before I put them back in said bags.
I don't wash them. I don't deal with them.
No,
I put them on and go.
I look at them. I remember the migraine they caused me, and I throw them back from where they came.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the next con comes around, I'm like, ah, fuck. Why did I do that?
Where did I put that? I forgot it.
Where is that?
Also, to Frank from Germany, we see you, darling. Don't think I forgot about you.
Hello, Frank from Germany.
Wie geht's, meine Schatzi?
Yeah, Yahtzee.
Yahtzee! Oh, heavens.
Also, if you get anything from a Halloween store, save the package it comes in. Literally use them to store my shake and go wigs and can usually fit about 3 per package. Yeah, those bags are huge. Totally.
Those bags are pretty large.
Yeah, definitely. Figure out what works for you, but find an organizational system, I would say. That's like the biggest thing is being like, what's my system?
I think a lot of cosplayers have organizational mess syndrome.
Yeah.
Where they will know where everything is
yeah.
in the mess that it is.
Yeah, definitely. My biggest thing is definitely like where I'm organizationally improve for myself is definitely my like crafting supplies, I would say. Mm-hmm. Like the amount of duplicates and paints that I've bought or like clasps or elastic, like where I just like haven't taken enough stock of like what did we buy for this cosplay that we didn't end up using that we now have to use for a future cosplay. You know, like I'm really good about saving fabric and keeping that all organized in like a big old tub. Mm-hmm. Also, another really good tip for storing extra fabric, space bags. Extra fabric. The only thing you're gonna have to do is the only thing you're gonna have to do is iron them out. But man, space bags for extra fabric, so good. Like so much better to me than putting it all in a tub where it takes up so much space. Oh, they're great. Yep. It's great. Definitely.
I am here for it.
Definitely. During NYCC, I had luggage bags, 2 and half of where cosplay. Yeah, totally. It's hard. It is hard.
You know, it's fun packing for a convention because it's like, well, I'm going to need 20 pairs of socks, 17 pairs of underwear, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of jeans, 3 pairs of t-shirts, several dress shirts, and I personally don't end up wearing any of them. Yeah. As soon as I get up to my hotel room or as soon as I get back to whence I came, I will just hop right into I will hop right into night clothes. Just ready to pass the fuck out.
I'm in a kigu the whole time. That's it.
You know what we need to get?
Yeah.
Purple and yellow kigus.
Done. Sold. Let's make them. Let's do
it.
I'm
here for it. Absolutely.
Great.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Uh-huh.
I'll meet you there.
That's right.
Bye.
Never gets old.
Why do you need that much underwear, asks Eric.
That's between me and the people who keep them.
You know, Tom, there is God.
Well,
why don't we have an Ursula and Ariel kigus? Why don't we have those?
I wouldn't know where to start.
An Ursula kigu? I'm going to draft it. I want the Ursula kigu. I'm going
to make it for myself.
I'm making it for myself. But bye. I had so many kigu plans that I immediately, when I came home from Katsucon, bought the pattern, and of course I haven't made a single one yet. But I wanted to make a Mifa kigu. I really enjoy the idea of making a kigu that matches your cosplay. So when you change out of your cosplay, you just change into the kigu, and it's like,
that's so
here
ridiculous.
we are.
That's so ridiculous.
I love that idea, but I also want a Link kigu. I want a Ganondorf kigu. I want basically the entire Legend of Zelda in kigu form.
Because of course, who doesn't?
Because of course I do.
Because
a
naturally.
Sailor Mars kigu, just a big old butt bow. It's just a giant bow. BB-8 kigu? I haven't done it.
I beg your pardon, ma'am.
Listen, you don't want this adorable, this in kigu form? Of course you do. It has an antenna.
Come on, Teletubby! Teleport us to Mars!
All you really need on your packing list is a kigu, your cosplay,
and that's it.
And deodorant.
And deodorant.
Please pack the deodorant. Anyway.
Toiletries are also pretty important.
Yeah.
And those you can pack with almost anything. I have a giant Ziploc that has my shaving cream, razors, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else. And literally just an extra bag of razors in case,
Yeah.
the 300, 400, 500 that you have can't get the job done.
I would just really recommend making yourself a packing list. Like a couple days before. That is something that I will say I am good at a couple days before. Because when I like begin to stress out about the con, I begin to make like a list of things not to forget. So in my planner, I'll usually like write out stuff like, oh, don't forget to pack this. Don't forget. Like make yourself a general packing list that applies every time. And then you just add in the cosplay stuff that you need as well. Like you're always going to need some pajamas. You're always going to need some extra underwear. You're always going to need like this, that, or the other. Making sure that you have the proper underwear for your cosplay too. That's huge. If you need a strapless, go strapless. If you need a whatever.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen.
For the love of Christ. Wear form-fitting underwear. I do not need to know what religion you are. I'll appreciate it for a moment, and then I'll be like, oh, no, negative. No, sad touch, bad touch bite.
Ma'am.
Yes. Now that I've gotten that out of my system. Weather. And now the weather. Yeah, deodorant's huge. Bringing medications that you might need. I will,
huge.
There are times I call myself Ursula unintentionally. This is one of those times.
Yeah.
I will forever have a vial. Allegra. Benadryl.
Totally.
Tylenol.
Yep.
Aspirin. Advil. Sometimes Pamprin.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because you never know who you're going to be rooming with.
Very, very true. Yeah. Like, that's definitely something. Like, the amount of times at a convention where someone's been like, oh, I have a headache. I'm like, do you want Advil? I have Advil. That's great. Here, take.
Do you need a Midol? I have. Calm down. Everything's fine.
It's definitely like, just remember the things that you are going to need at a con. Packing your cosplays is super important. Packing your stuff to also be a human is super important. To be a functioning human is also important. To be a
functioning adult.
For me, that means kigus.
All the kigus all the time.
All the kigus. Potentially matching. Potentially matching. Tell me that's not a brilliant idea. A Gwenpool kigu. I rip off the leotard. I throw on the...
I've seen Gwenpool sweatshirts.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. Next step.
A kigu.
A kigu.
She's all about the kigus right
That's
now.
it. I'm gonna revolutionize matching to your cosplay kigus.
I have a Pamprin. Why do you have a Pamprin? Because sometimes mommy's going through, a thing.
I made a good joke.
What was the joke that
said
you made?
Because you were pampering yourself.
Welcome to Catt and Kristen. My name is Shut Up Kristen.
My name is Tomcat.
And together we make Catt and Kristen, a weekly podcast where we make jokes like this all the time.
Here we are. I'm Ursula. What's happening today? Too much. There's been too much today, I think.
Too much of something is bad enough.
Chocolate for Dementors. Eric, I love you so much. I just cannot. I can't with you publicly right now. I can't.
We need to figure out a way to get him on the show.
We really need to get Eric on the show.
We need to figure out a way to get him on the show.
I'm going to start crying if he's not on the show soon.
Well, it's the truth.
It's just true. Okay. Other things for packing. Anything coming to mind?
I think we've discussed a lot.
Yeah.
Wigs, cosmetics.
Totally.
Costumes.
Props.
I know a lot of people that have incredibly large armor builds.
Yeah.
I don't know where you put them. If you do, lend an ear.
I think the biggest thing is, like, these are questions that also should be passing through your mind when you are building the cosplay.
Yes.
How am I
there
going
was actually
to
one
disassemble this, you know?
Dominique Sky.
Yeah.
She made these incredibly gorgeous, large, luxurious Dark Phoenix wings.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get out of the hotel room without a fight.
Yeah.
So be mindful of the size with which your cosplays are going to be.
Think about it. If you've got a giant hammer that you're going to have to transport to a con, make it detachable. Make it so that it comes out in a couple of parts. Making those small decisions and like figuring out like how can I break this down into smaller pieces is really going to save you a lot.
A lot of what we're talking about for this episode comes down to organizational skills.
Definitely.
And how much time you want to put towards organizing your craft area.
Yeah.
Because I know some people that organize their glitters by color, organize their threads by color, their needles by size, just this meticulousness.
Yeah.
For some cosplayers, myself included, that's just not the case.
Yeah.
We will literally fill any nook and cranny with something.
I think it's also because, to be fair, like you and I are both in the same position of like, we also work on our cosplays wherever we can. And so it's also not like as designated of an area. So it's like, it's hard. It can be really hard to like keep all of that stuff in one place or like organizing it is hard. But yeah, being mindful and thinking these things also through when you're making the cosplay. Like I know plenty of people that are like, oh, I'm going to make this detachable so it's easier for my hand to get out. Okay, well, making it detachable in that way is also going to make it easier to store. Like thinking through the steps of like, how do I make this cosplay last and how do I deal with this cosplay when I get home is a good way to broach the situation.
Functional design is very important when it comes to cosplay organization because if you're going to have like this large breastplate, where are you going to hide it?
One of the biggest things when I was building my Sailor Mars cosplay was I was like, okay, I'm part of Moon Menagerie. This fuku has to last. I don't want to be remaking this fuku all the time. And so the big thing about that I was telling you even when we were getting changed last week is that like almost everything detaches from this fuku. There would be very little, even if we did a different build, that I would have to like fully remake if we ever did different sailors. Like if this bow ever got messed up, all I'd have to do is make another bow and sign it up and put it back and attach new buttons to it. And that would be it. Like thinking through the like, how can I make this last for a long time is, I think, really worth your time.
Daisha actually brought up an interesting question. Shoes!
Oh, how to pack shoes. Shoes are the worst. I hate shoes. Okay. I love shoes. I hate shoes.
I have packed a number of heels for a convention.
Yeah.
The important thing to remember here, kids, if you can use one pair of heels, one pair of shoes for an entire weekend, do that.
Yeah.
Because
always
you don't
wear your heaviest shoes too when you're going to the con.
Yes, when going to the convention itself, remember to wear the worst shoes possible.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you'll be
saving yourself space.
You'll be saving yourself space. That's number one. And they'll also be more commonly the shoes you'll be walking around in.
Yeah.
I usually pack my heels and shoes in plastic bags and then stuff them into the luggage.
Got it. Yeah.
That's usually all I can do.
Yeah.
Because
shoes for me are usually one of the first things that I put in so that they're at the very bottom.
I pack by costume. I don't pack by any other way.
You pack by costume.
I pack by costume.
Oh, so like full costume full costume.
What I'll do is I'll do toiletries, underwear, socks.
That's always last for me.
That's usually what I put because I put that in the one sleeve of the suitcase. And then I just decide what's the biggest cosplay? Let me put that in first.
Totally, yeah.
Second largest, that next.
Agreed, yeah.
Third, clothing that can be worn throughout the duration.
Yep.
And pretty much packing the Wicked Witch of the West is going to be such a pain in my ass.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That's not going to be a joy.
It's going to be fun.
No, it's not.
It's going to be great.
I'm going to have to schlep it into a plastic bag and hope for the best.
Yep.
But these are questions that you're going to have to consistently ask yourself when packing for and unpacking for a convention.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's what this episode is all about.
This is it.
Where are we at right now as far as time is concerned? I think
probably like right around an hour. Yep, 51 minutes.
Yeah, 51 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a short episode.
But we wanted to talk about packing because it's a thing. It's a real, every time a con comes around, it's like, all right, how am I going to do it this time? How am I going to make it all fit?
It's very daunting. And packing for one-day conventions where you're just driving out to someplace, not fun. Not fun at all.
No, definitely not.
It's one of the reasons why we would prefer to go to conventions for a weekend where we can get away.
Yep, definitely.
Even though it's a working convention.
One of my least favorite things is thinking about, especially because like I will commute to New York Comic Con, thinking about how am I going to commute to New York Comic Con in a costume or bring a bag that has the costume in it and change there. That's like for me the worst.
I've actually had to take small luggage with me to New York Comic Con like once or twice.
Yep.
Like the small little pieces, just so that I can go to bag check, get in and out of Guiche, and then go.
Yeah.
And then come back.
I've never gotten ready at New York Comic Con before.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's such a joy, really, to see all of the people trying to look at you while you're getting changed.
Yes.
Nothing like,
Fair.
Gives you greater pleasure.
Yeah. Yep.
The voyeurs are out there, kids. Be careful.
It's true. Fun.
And then again, so are the exhibitionists.
Yep.
Anyway, comments?
Eric says, I always pack by what order I'm wearing things. The things I'm wearing later in the weekend go deeper in the bag. For me, it's more like what you said, where it's what's the largest build, and that's the first thing that I figure out in the suitcase.
Yeah.
Because then sometimes, to be fair, even for Katsucon, it dictated that I was going to need 2 suitcases. I was going to need a large one and then a small carry-on. In the small carry-on, I put all of my like accessories and normal clothes in, and literally the large suitcase was just entirely Mifa, Sailor Mars, and stuff that I needed for that. Like I definitely go by large, but that does make sense. Trying to go by order does make sense.
Note to self, look for Brooklyn Lincoln conventions for chocolate.
Yeah, everyone's talking about how they're going to go to Eric for chocolate now. I mean,
Don't you dare. I take precedence because I'm a menopausal woman.
Don't you dare. I take precedence because I have a Brooklyn Link sticker on the back of my phone. So, don't at me. Unless you're Eric, then at me.
He will, and happily.
I love him. I really miss you, Eric. I do.
Come out to Eternal Con for a weekend.
Come to Eternal Con. Hang with us.
Matthew Crosby asked a very, very interesting
Matthew.
question. What have you guys got lined up for the next few months?
Oh, God.
That is a loaded gun of a question.
What do we? Our next con, I believe, is in August.
In Beyond Con.
In Beyond Con, where we are going to be Zhuzhes.
We're going to be cosplay Zhuzhes.
Zhuzhes.
We're going to be... Weather.
We're
going to be cosplay judges.
Yeah.
For In Beyond Con.
Yeah.
What else? Eternal Con we have
coming up this weekend. Coming up. Yeah.
Again, hopefully, we're still figuring out our own schedules.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the joys of trying to be cosplay guests is
and also be adults.
And also be adults.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a challenge.
It's fun.
What else?
And then I am going to New York Comic Con, which is I'm going on the Friday of New York Comic Con.
To those that don't know, I have been working on a original design for the Wicked Witch of the West. The Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm so tempted to update Warrior Dorothy and do that with you.
But my thing is, I want to enter her in the New York Comic Con cosplay contest. Yeah. And it's on Saturdays.
Yep.
I haven't bought any tickets.
No.
I want
Saturday's
to.
sold out.
Saturday's sold out.
Yeah.
If they don't accept me, I would love to get as much of that costume finished.
Yeah.
And then go to New York Comic Con most likely on Friday.
Yeah.
But
I know that I'm going to be at Anime NYC. That's also, I want to go to Anime NYC.
We actually applied to be, I think we applied to be guests and press.
Yeah.
Guests and press for Anime NYC. They haven't reached back to us. Yep. Why do I always come in so late?
Christy Lynn.
Yeah,
Anime NYC. There was so much Anime NYC. I'm pretty sure I'm going to debut a Sailor Moon villain at, which I am very excited about. My favorite Sailor Moon villain. Gonna debut her at.
It's not Queen Beryl, is it?
No.
That's my favorite villain.
I mean, great villain, but for me, it's all about fashion as well.
Yes.
Fashion.
Fashion is fashion.
Fashion.
Fashion is fashion.
I'll say one word. Tutu. And that's it. That's all.
That's all we get.
That's all.
But yeah, that's what's on the docket for me. I might be at FlameCon.
Fun.
Might be at FlameCon. I'm still...
Yeah, we're figuring it out.
There's adulting.
Yeah, it's hard.
And
I'm like very suddenly in 2 weeks going to London, which is great.
Totes cash.
But just an example of like how quickly adulting can sneak up on you sort of deal. Like not complaining about that sort of adulting, but like just, yeah, scheduling is hard. Stuff is difficult.
Yeah. No, it is.
Yeah.
But don't you fear, we will still have weekly shows.
We will.
I promise you.
Except for when I'm in London.
Except for when she's in London.
Unless I telecast. We'll figure out a time. It'll be 3:00 in the morning for me, and we'll be like, I'll be drunk. That'll be it. That's all.
Everyone wants to see Kristen drunk.
Yeah. You don't. I get tired. I get super sleepy. But yeah. Yay! Whoop whoop.
Other than that, next year what we're going to do is hopefully try
have a very long list of cons.
I compiled a list of at least 36 conventions that I would like for the two of us to go to.
Totally.
Do we think it's going to happen? It might.
Maybe.
It's a possibility.
Listen, if there are cons that you guys want to see us guest at, please send those cons an email.
Send them an email. Reach out to them.
Tweet at them. Be like, yo, have you seen Catt and Kristen? And let them know, because that would be great. It would just be really cool.
It would be wonderful.
Super cool.
I like Nick's idea.
Yeah. Bring Tom to London with you. I'm just going to be a basket case the whole time. I'm just going to cry the whole time. It'll be fine. I'm going for work, but I'm also going to get to do some stuff related to Harry Potter, just because, like, of course, and I genuinely...
She's going to burst into tears.
I, the other day, was sitting in my room by myself thinking about entering the Great Hall for the first time and started tearing up. Like, I am going to fall over.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Correct.
Girl dies going into Great Hall. Great. Amazing.
London Times.
I couldn't ask for a better obit. Could not ask for a better one.
And I'll write her epitaph. She was a 10, not a 10.
It'll be great. It'll be great. Yeah, when they misspell it, you'll come in correcting.
Be red ink.
There it is. Great.
But other than that, we're just working on branding ourselves.
Yes.
We're working on stuff to sell at tables.
Yes, definitely.
Like prints, mugs, t-shirts, all that fun stuff. We're like trying to price everything out.
And figure out what works best for us. Yeah. Because to be honest, we want to do like mugs and stuff, but we also need to be on some level, again, as adults that need to make money back on these sorts of ventures. We want to make sure that that's something that you guys are actually like interested in.
Because that's a lot of things that happens. People are just like, yes, go, do the thing, totally. and then will not support.
And then crickets, which I get it, definitely, but like crickets. So we want to make sure that we are not crickets.
No, we don't want to be crickets.
No.
We don't want to be crickets.
No, I was going to make a Disney joke, but then I lost it. Jiminy Cricket.
And always let your conscience be your guide.
When you wish upon a star,
makes no difference
who you are.
Anything your heart desires will come to you.
Even if you don't deserve it.
Even if you don't deserve it.
Even if you've done nothing.
Even if you've done nothing.
We're adding you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding. Okay. So anyway.
Anywho, that's what we've been working on. Actually, Daisha, I'm very thankful you spoke up. To those unaware, we have been toying around with the idea of adjusting our logo.
Oh, yes, we have been indeed.
We have been tinkering around with the idea of reaching out to a graphic designer.
Yeah.
If you have a potential design idea for the Catt and Kristen logo, hit us up.
Totally.
We will talk it out.
Yeah.
You can email us at cattandkristen@gmail.com.
Once again, that's cattandkristen@gmail.com.
What else do we want to tell? Like, what are we working on?
We're
still working on an episode guide.
Also, there's a cosplay that I really want us to do that you came up with, but now I'm like full force.
Oh, she's completely and totally into it. Should we tell them?
Do we? But like, when would we debut? This is like, we have to like talk details. I feel like
we'd have to discuss that ad nauseum.
It's a Disney cosplay. That's all I'll say.
That's all you need to know.
That's it. It's relevant, and that's all.
It's very relevant.
It's relevant as we are.
It's as relevant as Catt and Kristen is.
Exactly.
If you tell us, you have to do it.
It's true. I mean, like, but we will.
Eric, Zelda, and Ganondorf?
Yes, though. Really, though. Yes. I will make that commitment right here and now.
I need to... And, well, just at the shit out of me, woman. Jesus Christ almighty. God will get you for that.
No, actually, Link will. Hey-o! Anyway, okay, bye.
I mean, if he does. I've seen his fan art. I still want to recreate that with you, darling.
Yes! No, really, though. Please. We need to make the Triforce.
We do need to make the Triforce. I just need to figure out armor and whatnot, because I am not an armor person.
But then we learn. We learn.
You don't know me very well, do you?
I know you very well. We work together. We make the
Pull yourself. What are you talking about?
Where is my super suit?
What do you mean great ago? I'm the greatest good you ever gonna get.
So who's our cosplayer of the week, Tom?
Our cosplayer of the week is someone that is near and dear to my heart. Her name is Jay Justice.
Whoop whoop!
She is a wonderful, wonderful representation of people of color.
Yes.
Wonderful representation for the queer community.
Yes.
Runs very much in the same vein as Tony R. Ray.
Yeah.
And everybody loves Tony Ray.
Yeah.
She has done wonderful things as a disabled cosplayer. She's everything.
Yeah, truly.
She was actually featured for Pride, as a matter of fact.
Really? Oh, I didn't know
Pride,
that.
I think, actually reached out to her, and
wow.
they did a little promo together. She was cosplaying as Wonder Woman.
That's awesome. I love that. Well, that's great.
Yeah, if you'd like to follow her, you can follow her on, I think, most forms of social media. Let me just double check my sources.
Double check them sources.
And by sources, I mean Instagram.
Being sorcelled by your sources.
Being sorcelled. Vamp.
Hello.
That J Justice on Instagram.
Yee.
And let's get out of that poor favor. Mole con pollo.
How about that airplane food?
Huevos rancheros.
Great, delicious.
Tostada. Enchilada.
Stop! You're gonna make me want. You're gonna make me want enchiladas.
And dos tamales too.
Looks like it's just Jay Justice.
Go.
Is that correct?
Yes, you can follow her also
okay,
at Jay Justice on Facebook.
Eee!
But how about them Yankees?
Sports.
How about those Dolphins?
Mammals.
Anyway, if you want to follow Kristen over here, you can find her at Shut Up Kristen on Instagram and Facebook.
Yes.
And YouTube. And Vero.
Yep.
And where else? Everywhere. Shut
Sure.
Up Kristen. Just Google her. You'll find her.
That's good luck. God bless. You'll either find me or Kristen Stewart. You'll never know.
You'll
never know. Because we have so much in common. Obviously. Taylor Lautner wants both of us. And if you want to find Tomcat, you can find them at the.tom.cat on Instagram, Tomcat Con Mom on Facebook, something on Twitter, just search them. And YouTube, Vero.
Just
Google it.
Just to anybody, please. My name is spelt with 2 T's. This is not hard. This is not rocket.
No.
You know, when I changed my name to Tomcat, I honestly thought, Cat. It's a simple enough name. It's C-A-T-T.
2 T's for tatas. That's it. Done. 2 T's for Tom's tatas.
There's always room for tea. That's always room for more teas.
It's true. That's it. Sip that tea.
I don't understand why it's so difficult to spell a goddamn noun.
I mean, welcome.
C-A-T. Put another T on the end of it.
I literally spell it out for people that I'm a 10, not a 10, and people still spell it incorrectly. So I don't know what else I can do.
I'm thankful that I don't go by my dead name. Because no one would be able to pronounce it. No one would be able to figure it out.
Fair.
Anyhoozle. Ciao meow for now, guys.
Bye.
Dubai.
Bye. I need to find the end button. Bye. Goodbye now.